Good morning. Down on the plot, it's just coming up to 20 to 8. I thought I'd come down early this morning, partly because I was already awake because of the pup, but also because I reckon it's going to be a lovely day and it's going to be quite warm, so I'd rather get the jobs done before it gets too hot. I thought before I got started I'd do a quick allotment video update. Broad beans, unfortunately, have got black fly, which is not looking good. You can see these little black dots are actually insects. So they're going to get sprayed in a minute with solution of soapy water, and hopefully that will help get rid of them, particularly as obviously, as you can see, the bean pods are starting to form. Just looking at a little ladybird there, look. Yeah. Peas are doing well. We had some last week, and yeah, it definitely looks like got some more today. Runner beans, real problems growing runner beans this year. Just basically getting the seed to germinate. Don't know why. Don't know. Maybe bad seed because some of it was last year's. Maybe I didn't dry it out long enough or keep it on the pods long enough, on the plants long enough before I picked the pods. Don't know. I put a few marigolds in here and there as companion plants to hopefully keep some of the bugs off. Onions, onions. Yeah, I think that's all I'm going to say about them. Swede are doing quite well. Never had much luck before, but this year looks like there'll be a good half a dozen to a dozen healthy plants there, produce a swede, or 12. Sweet corn's finally starting to take off now. It's always a bit dodgy transplanting sweet corn. Ideally you want to transplant it in exactly the lump of soil that you sowed the original kernel in, or better still, sow the kernel in situ. These were transplanted and they weren't looking too healthy, but they've obviously started to pick up, which is good, which means their kind of root shock that they go through when you transplant them has passed. The courgettes that I've underplanted them with are also starting to take off. I notice I'm going to need to do some weeding there though, because it's looking good. Likewise, weeding in the leek plot. I have had to put this string fence around because they were so small when I first put them in. I don't know whether you can actually see, but let me find one. There's one there, look. But there's 3 rows of them here. So that's 1, that's 2, and that's 3. And then there's 3 rows all the way to the path. But yeah, I kept treading on them. Naughty. Lettuces are doing really well. She'll harvest a few of those today. In fact, I need to give some away because we're not going to eat a lot of these before they go to seed, and I don't really want to waste them. My main crop potatoes, look at that, full of flowers, excellent. Harvested some of the earlies last week, not very good I'm afraid, bit disappointed. I notice they've got flowers on, but I think, it's possible my main crop will crop earlier than my earlies, if that makes sense. Apple tree, I think I've mentioned this before, I think I did it last time I did a vid. I've thinned out the apples a bit. This is a variety called Cobra, which apparently is a good all-round apple. You can use it to eat like you would a Granny Smith or a Golden Delicious or a Braeburn, and you can also cook with it like a Bramley, make applesauce for pork and things like that. I've also just noticed, having walked around this side, look, raspberries. That's why this netting is here, to stop the birds getting those. I shall be in there in a bit, once I finish this, to see how they're doing. I think I need to sort some of this out as well, because it should be over the top. In theory you could get it in there if you were a blackbird. Just to show you the wonders of gardening, 4 sticks here, marking a square that I sowed radishes in last week. I think I've said before in a previous vid that the radishes that I sowed at the other end of the plot didn't do very well at all. They just grew leaf and nothing else, so I thought, well, I'd just have a go and grow some here. And literally these were sown 6 days ago, last Sunday, and they've already germinated and they've already put their little seedling leaves up. So hopefully, and there was no science or technology, as you can see, totally random pattern, although there seems to be a few clumps here and there, whether that's just because some of the others haven't quite germinated yet or not. But hopefully, radishes, once they get going, grow relatively quickly, so I'll know whether I've been successful with this lot fairly soon. The carrots are looking good, as are the beetroot, parsnips. There's some more spring onions there which I'll harvest some today. Second lot of peas for later in the year. These are sort of more sugar snappy type ones. More carrots again, second kind of crop. These are turnips, and I don't know whether, no, you can't quite see any bulbs there yet for the turnips. Second row of beetroot. In fact, I might harvest some of these leaves today for salad. And on the end, row of sunflowers just starting off. So that is about it. I'm going to go and get my spray bottle out and fill it with fairy liquid. Sorry, that was an advert. Washing up liquid and some water, and I hope to be spraying the black fly shortly. I also hope that wherever you are, the sun's out and you're having a good weekend. Take care now. Bye bye.